let's get to the biggest story of the day. It's really been the biggest story of the weekend as the internet almost broke. Social media was going insane, berserk, with the craziness around Shedeur Sanders, where he gets his debut for the Cleveland Browns. You had Dylan Gabriel knocked out of the game due to a concussion, and this has been what everybody's been asking for. We want Shedeur. And there's also a crowd that says, what's going to Shedeur do? Because he definitely has his haters. He's got both sides. He does not have many people that are right down the middle. And of course, what do you see? Shedeur goes in there, and I thought he showed some flashes. A couple things that you did see, a couple nice throws. But for the most part, it was a rough debut for Shedeur Sanders. 4 of 16, 47 yards, an interception. I would say if you were grading it, it'd probably be a D. You had the lead when you came into the game, and there were some troubling things that you saw from Shedeur. Most importantly, I thought he was holding the football too long, and that was a problem that he had during college where he would just hold it forever, and he could get good protection, and he would try to make plays, but you've got to figure out where your checkdowns are, and you've got to take some of the pressure off the offensive line. It is okay to throw the football away, but he's not used to that because he usually does find a good play to be made, but this is the NFL. Tighter windows, less time. You cannot hold the ball for 4 seconds inside the pocket and expect to succeed no matter who your offensive line is. So we will see that. Now, throughout the game, there were some very interesting dynamics that unfolded, and this is why I think it's going to be very challenging. It's a unique situation because you've got a 5th-round pick who is probably more famous than even the 1st-round overall pick. Number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward. If you just went around the streets and asked NFL fans who is who, they would probably be able to pick out Shedeur Sanders in a lineup over Cam Ward. And with that, and with the brand, and with the celebrations that you had in college, and with the YouTube channel, and all the fame, and the storyline around the draft, other players are paying attention. And so it was the least surprising thing that I saw this weekend when Kyle Hamilton, the safety for the Baltimore Ravens, made this play, and how about the celebration that he came up with?
Pressure coming off the edge. Sanders in trouble, and he is dropped. Ball came out late. It was Kyle Hamilton who has the sack. And the Browns able to maintain possession, but they will punt on 4th down. A loss of 13.
Jason, you made the point about Sanders in the pocket. And
all right, so Kyle Hamilton makes the big play. What does he do? He comes up and gives him the perfect timing. It is Shedeur's celebration that he started in college where he likes to flash a little bit of the ice on the wrist. And of course, that's what Kyle Hamilton did to kind of throw it in his face a little bit. And this is Shedeur's creation. And this is what happens when you do come in with a brand and you do come in with some haters and you come in with a ton of attention and you haven't accomplished anything yet. Players are going to notice and they get jealous and they want to show you up. So that's exactly what happened. I don't think that's going to make life very easy on Shedeur Sanders. And I do think that when he faces the Raiders, which will be his first start, he is going to get a defense that probably plays harder, that plays with more passion, that gets after it, because there are multiple speeds. You will see games where defenses come in and you look at them and you're like, man, why does that team look off? They look flat. That is one thing Shedeur Sanders is not going to get. He is not going to get a flat team in the Raiders. They will put a bullseye on Shedeur Sanders' back and try to humiliate him. And it's not that they don't dislike Shedeur Sanders, but they don't like all the attention he's getting. And they know that if they sack Shedeur, it's going to be on every highlight across the country. So they want to take advantage of that opportunity. The one thing we do know is that Shedeur Sanders will get a full week of practice with the first team. Now, this is something I wanted to dive into because it was such a topic this past weekend with Shedeur. You had everyone saying, well, he hasn't got any first team reps. And how's he supposed to go out there? He should look as bad as he did. He didn't get any first team reps. And people were it was such a hot topic. Myself, more importantly, there were a lot of other backup NFL quarterbacks who had a lot to say about it. And they were all kind of saying, well, that's not an excuse. Like, you don't get first team reps as a backup quarterback. Like, it's just life as a backup is the starter gets all the reps and you have to get all your preparation done mentally. It's why we use the term mental reps. That's life as a backup quarterback in the NFL. And you saw multiple guys. You saw Chase Daniel. You saw Brian Hoyer, Luke McCown, Dan Orlovsky, and others saying, you know what, that's not really, because there's the conspiracy theorists on Shedeur who say the Browns are out to get him, and they screwed him over by not preparing him to play, and they didn't have him, they didn't have him ready. How could they? How dare they? They must not want him to succeed by not giving him any first-team reps.